So it's another fabulous day today. I'm down on Jennie's plot and I'm going to plant the squashes and the beans, and that will be the last of the outdoor planting, apart from just a few tomatoes still to go in. So I'm really pleased to get this over with and just sit back and watch everything grow. So this is the squash bed. Fairly substantial in size, although last year's crop was just appalling. So I'm working a little bit harder this year on trying to improve things, and I'll show you what I'm doing. And then this is one of the bean frames rather, and I have a separate video on the quick and simple way that we use to build that bean frame. And that one's going to have the runner beans, and this one's going to have the French beans. And we've got a little bit of green garlic down the edge there, which will be pulled fairly soon. And because Jennie has very little time, because of health constraints, to manage this allotment, we try and plant everything here to need the absolute minimum amount of work. And it seems to be pretty good. It takes about 1 to 2 hours a week to manage this plot. So we've got trees, apple trees, plum trees, pear trees, cherry trees and the like. Then we've got the winter brassica bed, mainly colettes, sprouts and cabbages, red cabbages. And then we've got the beans, and we'll have more dwarf French beans in here. And then this bed will be basically different types of broccolis. So the summer broccoli, which is going to be, I've forgotten the name of it. Anyway, I'll stick it in the as an overlay on the video. So, Aztec broccoli, and then the winter broccoli, which will be Rudolph, purple sprouting, and then the spring broccoli, which will be Granite. And then we've got the strawberries and the elephant garlic, strawberries and the ordinary garlic, that being framed, and then summer autumn main crop onions, and that's just one of the beds. We've got another big bed on my plot, strawberries on the outside, and the main crop, oops, get my hand in the way, the summer onions, overwintered, garlic and more onions, and then these are the beans, broad beans and broad beans, and then back to the squashes. So I'm digging a moderately deep hole, so at 9 inches deep, something like that, and I'm going to pre-water these holes. And it's pretty useful to do that, although the ground that deep is fairly moist. I think it makes sense to get as much localised water as I can. And that's it. So I'll let that drain in and talk about the ground prep. So this is very sandy soil, and the very sandy soil starts about here, and then on top of here we've got the stems, chopped up stems from the field beans. So they're a nice source of nitrogen, and that should be a fairly slow release over the growing season, and the whole bed is covered in those chopped up stems. And then on top of that we've got this really rough, you can see, spent mushroom compost, and this is primarily a mulch, but it will rot down, but there's not a huge amount of goodness in it. And so what we have done is we've spread about one handful per square metre of this organic extra from Marshall's, because I've got no source of cow manure really, or farmyard manure. on this allotment. Can't get it delivered, and yeah, we've got no supply. So this, which is basically concentrated, which I think just means dried, farm yard manure is the best that I can do. I'm going to put that around the plants and in the planting hole, and I'm also going to put in a little bit of seaweed meal as well. So these are the plants I'm putting in. These are Crown Prince, and I'll put the planting date up as an overlay. And these are actually fairly healthy. I'm also planting butternut squashes, and I think I'm going to plant those on these centres. So I'm going to have 4 Crown Prince with the butternut squash in the centre. We'll see how those go. On the basis that if these butternut squash don't do very well, then the Crown Prince have just got a bit more space, because the butternut squashes are not looking particularly healthy. I've taken some of the outer leaves off that were yellowing a lot. Basically, I think these are just need planting, and so hopefully they'll do better once they're in the ground. Now, the plants in the modules are really well watered, and I think that's important just to minimise any shock from being transplanted. At least they're not going to need to seek out water immediately from any slightly damaged roots. So we'll just have a look at one of the plants for detail, and yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that. It's got a nice set of roots on it. It looks really healthy. Now I'll just show you how I'm digging the holes, just because what I'm doing is I'm pulling back this mulch. So what I'm trying to do is get as few weed seeds close to the surface as possible. So I'm sort of covering that, and you can see there's the rotting leaves. And then I'm digging the hole, but I'm taking the soil out so I don't get it. I'm putting it into this bucket so I don't get the seeds, weed seeds, on the surface, and I'll pull the mulch back over the top once I've done. Okay, so that's the Crown Prince and the butternut squash in, and I do just want to pop some courgettes in across here as well, and yeah, not as many as we planted last year. I think we had 4 last year, that was too many. So I'm sowing the winter beans now. And I've chosen these Scarlet Empire for no good reason, really. And I popped 2 little holes in with the dibber. It says 2 inches deep, but because I've got such a thick mulch on here, I've planted them 3 inches deep. And I've also got 6 plants that I grew from some saved seed, so I'm going to pop those in as well. So that's the runner beans planted. I actually managed to break one in half, so there's only 5 plants, and the rest are beans, 2 beans to a station. And that's the French beans, Cobra, planted. And I've also mulched down the edge there where the green garlic is. And then I've just found that I've got a packet of amethyst dwarf French beans, the purple ones. So I put a couple of rows of those in. They're not actually separated by that distance. I think there's only about 14 inches between them. And that's just the don't walk on marker, the watering marker. So that's all done, and that's me done for the day. So I'm just in the polytunnel now and just finishing up the squash planting, trying to squeeze a few more in. So I've popped another trumpicino in here, and another one in there, and I'm basically running out of space now to run strings into the roof. I've got a courgette here, it's doing pretty well, and then the cucumbers in the corners, at the other corner, at the other end. And I've got 1 spare trumpicino in a pot, which I'm going to grow outside just for comparison. So that is pretty much it, apart from the outdoor cucumbers. I'm all done by the outdoor tomatoes. I won't do those until another week, I think. So that's me done. I'll see you soon.